Good morning and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. It's a beautiful fall day and hopefully you're able to get out and enjoy it. But while you're here watching us, we want to thank you so much for watching us right here on Charter Channel 8, where you can see us 6 days a week. If for some reason you are out of town on vacation or busy in this beautiful fall weather, you can always find us on the internet. We are on YouTube as well as Facebook, and Leanne does upload the most recent episode if you do like our page. But she also does have on the thirdhandproductions.com, you can check out all of the past episodes and see what's going on in your community. And that's kind of the great thing about the Owatonna Today Show. We're bringing you information about your community and about what's going on. Like today's show, we're excited because we have the school board candidates, those people who'd like to help shape the minds of our future. You want to find out who they are, so we're going to be talking to them today. So keep with that. But we're always interested in finding new information, maybe an event coming up. We'd love for you to let us know about that. All you have to do is send us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can call us at 390-5751. That's Leanne's cell number. Let us know what's going on, and we'll see what we can do to get you on the air and talk about your event. So stick with us. We will be talking with some of those candidates right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
When using a fire extinguisher, we suggest using the pass system. Pull the pin at the top of the extinguisher that keeps the handle from being accidentally pressed. Aim the nozzle toward the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to discharge the extinguisher. If you release the handle, the discharge will stop. Sweep the nozzle back and forth at the base of the fire. After the fire appears to be out, watch it carefully since it may reignite. If you have the slightest doubt about whether or not to fight the fire, get out and close the door behind you. This has been a safety message from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Olson of Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna. We know that good health goes beyond having a quality clinic and hospital in our community. That's why United Way is convening community partners to reduce obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in Steele County. At the same time, United Way is funding programs that increase access to health and dental care right now. We're proud to be a partner of the United Way Community Campaign Leadership Team, and we encourage you to join us by giving a gift this year.
And we're back with half of the candidates for the Owatonna School Board. In studio, I do have with me Bill Bernard and Doug Belmore. Hello, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here with us today. It's really important, I think, for those people who are your voters to kind of understand where you stand and what why you want to do this. So we'll start with, first of all, if you guys wouldn't mind introducing yourselves and telling us a little bit about you and here in the community.
Okay. My name is Bill Bernard. I've been on the school board now for 5 years, finishing my 5th year of service. 4 of those 5 years I've been an officer, and I'm currently chair. Lived in Owatonna about 9.5 years now, and have been involved in the community. I also serve our high school as our head girls lacrosse coach.
Okay.
So.
Nice, thank you. Sir?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Douglas Belmore. I've been in Owatonna for about 20 years. My children are very successful products of the Owatonna School District, which I'm grateful for. And I'm very interested in running because I think we've got some challenging issues coming up in the next number of years on facilities, in addition to the programming, which is so important to the kids.
Well, thank you so much. I want to start off telling me, you talked a little bit about your experience on the school board already, but tell me a little bit about you personally and what makes you really passionate about the school board and maybe some of the assets you bring to the school board.
You know, I think the passion comes through impacting educational opportunities for our children. You know, we've chosen to live in Owatonna as our home. We've had the advantage of living elsewhere, so know what educational opportunities are elsewhere. And my goal is always to make sure that people who choose to live here and educate their children here and raise their family here have the same type of opportunities you would have at school districts elsewhere. And we hear that from our business community where executives or such will come in from other areas and move to Owatonna, and the first thing they ask is, we want to hear and see your schools. And I believe we have a tremendous school system that offers great opportunities for our kids, and that's where my passion lies.
And what kind of assets do you bring to the, personally to the school?
Well, my background before living up here was an entrepreneurial in nature, food manufacturing, and when we were able to sell out our company, it gave me the flexibility to do a lot of things that I would rather do from a standpoint of, raising my kids. My wife's an accountant and is the breadwinner in our family. So simply enough, those things give me the time to fully jump into things that I'm passionate about. And, school board is one of those things that it really does take you a certain period of time to feel like you're getting up to speed and understand the complexity of the issues, because it is rather complex. And, I think all of us want to feel like we're contributing sooner, as soon as possible. And quite frankly, you go through your first 6 to 12 months and feel as if, I'm still not sure, that I'm an equal member of the 7-member board. So.
Okay, good. All right, and to you, Doug, a little bit the same question.
Well, again, I've been a resident of Owatonna for 20 years. I'm grateful for what the school district did for my children, and I think it's time to pay that back by supporting them. And the staff of the school system, the teachers, the educational assistants, and all that. I think in economic development, the quality and the livability of your community is most important, and right top of the list is the schools. And I think we have done a very good job in the past. We may have slipped for a while, but that's also due to economic circumstances and not personal issues as much. And I think it's time that we really look hard at our schools as a community to see where their future lies, because there's a lot of significant decisions coming up, especially in facilities, especially in programs, and most importantly, voter support for the school district. And I think it's very important that that be an agenda that's talked about early and often with the voters.
And so for you, what are some of the assets you personally bring that you would bring to the school board?
I think in particular I'm very strong in facilities. I'm also very strong in programming. I've been the chair of the Industrial Advisory Board at Mankato State University for a number of years. I'm also on the Dean's College of Science of Engineering and Technology Advisory Board. I've done an awful lot of work on the post-secondary level. I see what is the quality of the product going into the universities and colleges and how they're perceived. And I think also as a management consultant, I spend a lot of time with employers and hear their angst and joy about what's coming out of our school system and where the future is headed.
I wanted to ask what Doug mentioned some of the challenges. Could you identify one of the challenges that you are excited, anxious about possibly working with in the next school year?
I think one of the things that's on the forefront, and I would probably look at it as more of an opportunity than a challenge. We are looking at facilities. Myself, Mark Sebring, Eric Schuster are the board members who are assigned to our facilities group. And the long and short of it is no decisions have been made on what is the best way to address our needs. I will say this. My focus has always been and will continue to be what happens inside the classroom, what enables our teachers to best deliver their curriculum and impact the educational outcomes for our students is more important than what the school looks like from the street. The bright, shiny building with, current architectural, I understand people will go to other communities and see those things and find them attractive. But here again, it's how do we make education happen the way it has to today versus when I was, say, in high school. And a lot of those rooms at our high school are the same as what it would have been like when I was in high school. So simply, those are opportunities because we are doing a thorough analysis of where we are, and we're involving all of our teachers. Pretty soon the process will come to the community involvement, because this really does have to become a community decision on how do we want to set up our schools for the future here in Owatonna. Doug had made a reference to past elections. I mean, we have a tremendous amount of momentum out of the last operating levy. An operating levy passing 58 to 42% is pretty remarkable, and it shows a great commitment from our community on investing in our schools, and it's the responsibility of our administration and our school board to continue to earn that trust and work, work together to make those things happen.
Doug, you again alluded to some of these facility things. Tell me a little bit about, because you are on the outside in the sense that you kind of see what's happening, but you're not on the inside of those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of those things that you see that if you were on the board, you'd be excited or anxious about dealing with?
Well, I think the term is excited, not anxious. I think part of it is to be incredibly transparent to the community and get them involved early and often in the decision, including the staff. I agree with Bill. It's not the shininess of the building, it's the quality of what goes in there. But also at some point we have to look at the fact that our facilities are becoming aged, and it's either a significant renovation for today's classroom to meet the needs of today's kid and teacher, or we stay the same as. And I think the opportunity is to fully understand what the system needs to be 21st century, so we're putting our kids' workforce ready out on the street.
The last question I have for you in the last minute and a half or so is, the one thing you could be, this is the one public office that is most passionate about, the voters are, because it's their immediate impact on their children. So how do you deal with parents that come to you with concerns and questions about what's going on in the school board?
And I think the hardest part, and I'll reflect back to when I first started, because there is a certain challenge in how you approach those things. First of all, our goal is, our focus is to create policy. And to think that a board member will go in and step in with a principal or things of that nature, we do follow a process, and we do want our community members to contact us and say, look, I'm having a problem with this. We will help them find the solution to that problem. We're not necessarily the problem solvers. But here again, community involvement, sort of dovetailing a little bit into the last question, I still think our biggest challenge is with this whole facilities process is going to be a rather complex issue to understand, and it's going to take a commitment of time to for our community to be able to be a part of that process. We welcome them to do so and hope that they do so.
Okay, same question to you in the last few seconds that we have here.
Well, I'd rather deal with a passionate parent rather than an apathetic parent, because passionate, everybody loves their kid unconditionally, we understand that. I think it's also very important to understand that helicopter parents and parents with agendas can't drive the process. The process, the policies, and input from all the parties, and most importantly, the people doing the education is most important in dealing with the parent. We can be observers, we can be advocates, we can do a lot of things, but we have to leave the classroom to the teachers.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time today. I wish you both good luck. And we'll be right back because we're going to talk with another set of those people who are trying to get on the school board or already are continuing that right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Brandy Wilker, and I play Lottie Grady.
And I'm Tim Fitzgerald, and I play Henry Ormond Royd in LTO's current production of When We Are Married, directed by Larry Ostermeyer and sponsored by JC Press and Wells Fargo.
Performances of When We Are Married will be held Friday and Saturday, October 24th and 25th at 7:30 p.m., with a matinee on Sunday, October 26th at 2 p.m.
And again the following Thursday through Saturday, October 30th and 31st and November 1st.
Tickets are available at the LTO box office by calling 451-0764 or online at littletheaterofowatonna.org. Hey,
Don't miss
LTO's production of When We Are Married. I'm not marrying him.
But why not?
I don't know. Keep falling asleep.
Just a bit of cheer.
Stop drinking.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, this is Doug Johnson at the Owatonna Business Incubator, a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. We'd like to welcome you to the incubator. If you're a small business, whether you're existing or a startup, we can help you with office space, manufacturing or warehouse, and free confidential counseling.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
The Owatonna Foundation's mission is to support community progress, and the foundation has been doing just that since 1958 in the Owatonna community. By issuing over $11 million in grants, the Owatonna Foundation has helped organizations fulfill their goals in the areas of community, recreation, the arts, and education. Please consider a tax-deductible donation, a memorial, or possibly including the foundation in your estate planning so that together we can continue to make a positive, lasting impact in our community. Preserving the past, building the present, funding the future, that is what your Owatonna Foundation is all about.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I am Shelley Whitehead. In studio, I have with me Jolayne Mohs.
Yes.
And Mark Sebring. Lori Weisenberger was not able to make it with us today, but we're going to talk to these two about life in general. Start with there. So if you don't mind introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Jolayne Mohs, and my husband and I moved to Owatonna about 10 years ago, and we have 3 little boys, ages 4, 6, and 8, that keep us quite busy.
Okay, good, thank you.
My name is Mark Sebring. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. My wife and I have 2 older sons that have both been a product of the Owatonna school system and have graduated, and one is still in college, one is done with college.
Finally. Now, are either of them living back with you?
No.
Because that will happen probably. Yeah, yet. I love that, Leanne. So we're going to start with you, Jolayne. Talk a little bit. I want you to tell me a little bit about why you're doing this, why you're running, why this is important to you, and the passion you have behind that.
I am doing this because I was appointed to the school board 5 months ago, and just over the last 5 months I've really enjoyed the learning process, and I've really enjoyed being part of the board and kind of helping the schools move in a positive direction. And I'm pretty vested because my kids, like I said, are 4, 6, and 8, and so very committed to helping to make sure that we can do the best that we can in making a solid and strong educational system in Owatonna.
So having been on the board a little bit, you kind of know, what kind of assets do you personally bring to the school board?
I bring personality. No, I'm kidding.
Are you saying they were dull before you?
No, I'm not saying that at all. Not at all.
Good, just want to make sure.
No, it's a fun group. What do I bring? My husband and I own a business together. We own a construction company that's done very well, and so I have a very business-minded focus at times, but then in my career path, I'm the director of Fernbrook Family Center, and so I work with kids and families that are struggling with mental health issues, and so I can help balance out the two, I think, and have a lot of empathy for kind of what's going on, but then still maintain a business focus.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mark, let's talk to you a little bit about why you're done. You don't need to do this anymore. Your kids are done. Why are you doing this? And then a little bit about what you bring to the board.
Well, I have no personality. And that's why we had to bring Jolayne on the board.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's really sad.
Well, as I mentioned, I'm a product of the school system. My kids have been a product of this school system. I had a great experience. It's an opportunity to give back.
Okay. And what do you bring what assets do you bring to the whole process?
Well, listening is the big one. I think in order to be really a productive member of the school board, you have to be a good listener and then a critical thinker.
Okay, and those two things, how do those help with that process? You know, because as it is really an emotional, at times can be an emotional process.
You're right, and I think that by and large, all of us have a perspective of what school is about and what school should be about. And Jolayne can attest. There's a fair amount of information, much more information that goes into the day-to-day operation of a school district than just a teacher in a classroom. And in order to take all of that information and weigh it and really try to strive for the best result for the kids in our district is what it's all about.
Okay, good. Jolayne, they were talking a little bit earlier at the other one about some of the facility challenges. They called it opportunities.
Areas of improvement.
Yes. So they talked about that a little bit. Tell me from your perspective what you see and kind of what you are hoping to maybe looking forward to helping the schools grow and become better at.
What do I see? Right now, I see teachers and staff and administration doing the best that they can with what they have. We do not have, right now, our facilities are not where I think they need to be. What they need to look like is I'm not sure yet. The district is going through kind of an investigative process with a firm that's coming in and asking really hard questions about what do you want versus what do you need. And I think once that study is done, that will help lead us in the direction of kind of where we need to go.
Okay. And so how do you approach that when it's just kind of a big old question? Because we were talking a little bit how some of the classrooms haven't changed since for what 30, 40 years, and technology has changed and everything else has changed. So how do you kind of approach that? Even just, I know the firm will help, but even just for yourself, because it seems like a monumental task.
It is, but I think, again, I want to go back to the teachers are doing what they can in the space that they have, just because learning right now is so much different for my 8-year-old than it was for me. And so to try to make accommodations within the 4 walls that they're given is a challenging feat, but we have to balance it out with, finances and what do we have versus what do we want, with what is going to affect the kids best and how can teachers teach in the best way possible. So it's a balancing act.
And then we don't know what the future holds either. Right. So what kind of changes? How can you kind of sort of open that door to be prepared for whatever may come?
Yeah.
Tell me about a little bit that for yourself as the challenges that you see coming up and how you might approach some of those.
Well, I think you're asking me about facilities.
Yes.
And as Jolayne had mentioned, there is a facility study that has begun. An architectural firm is asking very good questions. About the first of the year, this whole process will get rolled out, and there will be a broad community contingent that will be brought in to look at this basic information, the same basic information, and really help us collectively decide what's the right direction to go to improve our facilities.
They mentioned in the last interview that we do have really good community support. They've come back, they said the operating levy was important, they voted for that. How are you going to continue to work with parents and make sure that you continue to have that support and maybe deal with those parents who, helicopter parents, or maybe want you to fire a teacher because they said something mean to their child? How are you going to deal with those kind of parents who come, who are passionate about it, but maybe a little bit more interesting than you expected?
I have been surprised over the last 5 months at the lack of conversations with those parents. And I don't know if it's because they don't know that it's an option to talk to your school board member, if they don't know the avenues to talk to them, but I very much absolutely call. Let's have a conversation, call, tell me your concerns. And I like that people get passionate, and I like that they get fired up because that means they're invested and that they care. So that's a good sign for me.
So you want that,
Yeah.
Please call.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a deal. Please call. It's great. I'd be happy to hear from you.
Well, Mark, you are that big of a deal. So can they call you?
Absolutely. No, we certainly encourage it. But as Jolayne had mentioned, it's rather surprising that you have this sense that you're probably going to have the phone ringing off the hook with parents calling about one issue or another, and really it doesn't. It's nice.
Do you think they call more at the school level and maybe feel like you guys are too administrative?
I think that ultimately there is a very good, well-defined process for parents to take in talking to the teachers and principals and so on. By the time they get to a board member, it has to be it's naturally a pretty big issue by the time it gets to us.
Jolayne, do you think that with the facilities conversations that are going to be happening, do you think those conversations might happen a little bit more? That people, because that is a big issue. That's an overreaching issue. Do you think that you might have more parent involvement or more parental comments on that kind of thing?
I hope there's a lot of community involvement.
Yeah.
I think it's a community issue, not a parental issue, because it affects so many people that don't have kids currently in the district because they've graduated or they don't have kids yet. And so yes, I hope that as we go down the path of facilities, that there's an entire community involvement and not just exclusive to parents.
And Mark, how would you encourage that? How would you encourage the small business owner to be a part of that when they maybe aren't near a school, they don't have kids in school?
Yeah,
how do you encourage that?
It's a great question. It's really funny because I think even as a parent, when my kids were in the district, you're so busy. You're exhausted from running them to one event or one circumstance or someplace or another. And then when they're done and you say to yourself, well, I'll go to all the football games and I'll go to the girls' volleyball games and so on. And those game nights roll around and you think, I'm content to just sit. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. Parents are either so busy with it, or they've reached a point where they say, oh, I've done my part.
Exactly.
But you're right, you're asking a good question. I think that by forming some alliances and some connections with like the Chamber of Commerce and other organizations to really try and draw the business owners back in, because they have a vested interest. I mean, their future employees are a product of what happens in our school district.
We just have a few seconds left, so if you wouldn't mind just telling me and the audience a little bit why they should make sure that your name is checked on that ballot next week. Isn't it next week?
I hope it's next week. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
A long campaign.
I think that I bring a unique skill set, and I think it's beneficial for the board and for the district, and I'm pretty invested in this community, and I'm really hopeful and optimistic to see it succeed.
Okay. Mark?
I would say that having a true sense of appreciation for what a great educational opportunity I had, I love the school board. I'm very passionate about it, and I really enjoy my time with it. Hope for an opportunity to serve again.
Good. Thank you so much for your time today. Really do appreciate it. And I know our audience does, just to get to know you a little bit more. Thank you. All right, we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, Warren Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you. Owatonna Public Utilities.
And now it's time for a quick look at some of the community service announcements. Absentee ballots for the upcoming November 4th, so it is next week, general election, will be available through Monday, November 3rd at the auditor's office. It's also open this Saturday from 10 to 3. You may also look up the sample ballot and polling place information online by going to www.sos.state.mn.us. If you have questions, you are encouraged to call your county auditor's office at 507-444-7410. The Catholic Daughters of the Americas is holding their Fall Bazaar and Holiday Bake Sale. It's Saturday, November 1st from 10 to 1 at Sacred Heart Church in Owatonna. There'll be an assortment of holiday cookies for sale, as well as pies and other great baked goods. The lunch menu will include chicken noodle soup, chili, pulled pork sandwiches, apple crisp, and pumpkin bars. I think Leanne's excited about the chicken noodle soup. There will be a bucket raffle with proceeds going to help St. Mary's and St. Isidore's School, so make sure you check that out this Saturday. I want to thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back on Wednesday when we talk to the Steele County Commissioner candidates. You can find out a little bit more information on who you want to vote for next Tuesday. So we'll see you then. Have a great day.